C'est pas le passé, I don't normally go to that stuff, but yeah, it's obviously going to be pretty huge, massive screens. Pretty awesome. Cool. I imagine they'll be like late. We'll see, but we'll see. That could be fun. Well, I did go to Burning Man. That's true. I've never been to Burning Man before. Maybe I'll go to Coachella this year. I don't know. I mean, I don't normally go to these things, but I'm trying to go to more things lately. Cool. Looks like I'm just. Somebody complained about me eating food. If it's making really strong music, sorry, really strong eating sounds, like let me know. Cool. Let's get started. What's going on? The main things are the new character references, a new style reference system, and a new describe. Hopefully, we will launch all three of those things next week. We're testing 2 versions of the character reference stuff right now. We'll be hopefully testing the describe pretty soon. The character reference stuff is a little different than you might expect if you're like super obsessed with a particular detail. Like I want them to have the same shirt, or I want them to have like a mole on their face in the same place. It's not going to do that. Like, just be clear. However, it is pretty cool that you can like have like a drawn character or an anime character or an abstract character and like pull them into photorealism. Like you can do some or like a photorealistic character and pull them into like it seems like the style reference is most cool when pulling them across style barriers. We can kind of like pull the character through. But we'll see how it goes, whether how accurate it is and how people are accurate. If you're building actual stories out, it's probably not as good as it could be. So we'll see. Um, I think it's pretty great. It's definitely fun. It definitely could be better. I'm not sure how much better it can be in V7, V6, like versus having like a V7. So I think I think we'll still like launch it for now, and then anybody who doesn't like it can wait till V7. But it's pretty fun. I think we'll learn a lot from it. It definitely opens up some really interesting sort of artistic things. So like how you can kind of pull a style across the image, you can pull a character across 2 styles. That's something that I like most about now. Yeah, I definitely see a version at some point where like it does everything, but I don't know. Some combination of V7, V8, like we're trying to figure out how to like split it out so people can kind of say, I want like the lipstick on this character and the eyeballs of this character or something ridiculous. But I think it's a step forward. I'm excited about it. We'll probably have some kind of different moderation scheme where like we might not let you take image references of people and put them in agony or something because like it could work on real images of people too. So we'll probably do some kind of thing where if you use a real image of people, it's like positive imagery only. And if it's not a real image of a person, like if it's from a Midjourney image, you can kind of do whatever you want. And so I don't know. We're kind of trying to the moderation's coming in hot, so worst case scenario, we launch it with just like harsh moderation on everything. So you can't do your, violent stories. But we'll try to improve it after launch then. So we'll see what happens. Um um yeah, so what else is going on? New describe should be good. Um it's more accurate at like sort of getting us a prompt that's closer to the image. Hopefully people like it. Um there's a new style reference coming. It'll break the old ones. Sorry everybody. It's still an alpha. But what it should do in the new one is it will try to be better at separating out the current style reference will sometimes leak objects in a little bit. and the new style reference will not do that as much. So it's basically just getting more accurate at getting just the style. So we're going to upgrade that. And then there's some issues with links on Discord. Sorry about that. We're working with Discord to see if we can get people's image prompt links back. Hopefully we can. Might take a bit. I don't know exactly when.
It has
But people
been
are working on
mostly
it.
fixed.
What's that?
It has been mostly fixed. There are still a few issues.
But they are working on it. And then we're trying to play around with some things for like better body coherence or better aesthetics. Those are being challenging right now. We might be hitting up the limit to get V6. We're not sure. But we are working on V7 too. And the V7 will be, I think V7 will be a bigger jump than V6. So there's a pretty big jump still ahead of the current performance. We're not hitting diminishing returns yet. We are looking at adding a style random, so you can kind of generate random styles again. Maybe like Sref random or something. We're also they're also thinking about making like some kind of style map, so you can kind of see, you kind of explore the style space better, find a reference maybe. We'll see what happens with yeah, I think the style random is the next thing coming after those two features. Someone's telling me to chew. I'm chewing. What else is going on? Yeah, I mean the team is mostly trying to figure out how to, mostly thinking of like talking about V7 stuff. I think we're starting to move towards that, but we'll see. There's a chance that we get some kind of better character. Some kind of better body coherence. There's a chance that we'll get some better aesthetics. There's a chance that things will probably get faster soon. So that's actually probably the next biggest thing people will notice, is that we're upgrading a lot of our servers again. So thank you, yearly subscribers. The money comes from the yearly subscribers. Yeah, when we buy out servers, we have to buy them out for at least a year. So it's hard to buy out things for a year when people only pay you every month. But when people pay the yearly subscriptions, it lets us basically upgrade the servers for the year. So we are working on upgrading our servers. We're hoping we can get the time down a decent amount. Like it could go from like 35 seconds for a job down to maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. So like it'll feel a lot faster. So some of the speed ups are coming from faster servers, and some of the speed ups are coming from just better code. And then some of these will make it actually cheaper, and some of these will not make it cheaper. So I think what I would say is that the price will generally go down, but it won't necessarily go down exactly in proportion to the speed increases. We will try to make a turbo mode at some point. The turbo mode will be more expensive, but it's turbo. What else is going on? Yeah, relax mode is already a really good deal. We lose so much money on relax mode. I'm not sure I know what to say. So let's see what else is going on. I'm still working on the social stuff for the website. It's a bit behind. I'm doing a lot of bugs on the website. We're trying to improve the mobile a little bit with just in general, try to make mobile a bit better for the app website. We're not gonna put a ton of effort into it, but we're gonna like do a couple days cleanup. Eventually, we're gonna change the lightbox up on the alpha to kind of try to combine the pan, AR, the zoom into more of like a little editor thing. It's gonna take a little bit, but we're just gonna do it. We'll add a lot more right-click options. Yeah, that's probably roughly it for now. We keep thinking about like doing more personalization stuff. I'm gonna try to test a V5 style tuner for V6 next week, but I would like to do a more advanced one too. So we're kind of debating a bit on what that looks like versus all the other style things. We might just call it a model tuner at some point, and there might be like a style mode and a non-style mode. We don't know. We're gonna test it. Okay. Anything else? Obviously we have our video like things and 3D things and real time and drawing things, and they're all kind of moving. um, the style team, sorry, the story team is excited about all the new consistency features. We might open up an API to some of the chatbot companies so that they can like experiment with sort of the chatbot like interfaces. We'll see. I'm probably most excited about the trying to do more personalization stuff. I want to try to get the model to personalize people more. I don't think we've done a great job there, but I really want to personalize it more. We'll see. We're trying to go to V7 really fast, but it's really hard to tell. We're kind of like independently validating the different components right now. The new language system, the new image system. The data sets are not being validated yet, but we'd like to validate it soon. And then in theory, we'll kick off the main run. So basically, the way that building a new version works is you have these sort of new components of the system. So we have like the new language system, the new image quality system, the new data sets. We're validating each component separately, and then we put them together, or then we train a big run, and then we tune that model or fix issues with that model, and then we release it. So it's like probably like 2 weeks to put things together, 2 weeks to train the first version. If you have a problem with it, it's another 2 weeks, and then it's another 2 weeks to train. So to fine tune it. So you're looking at 2 months probably, if I had to guess. Assuming we mess something up one time. If we don't mess up anything at all, then it will be out before then. But our hope is to come out with major versions more often and try to avoid smaller versions. So I don't think there's going to be a 6.2 right now. I think it's more likely that we go straight, we go to 7 more quickly as we can. There is a universe where we were looking at like a 6.5. We could potentially retrain 6.0 on more data. Just retrain it on more data, and it would be better. I don't know if it's worth doing though, so I think we're a little conflicted on that. We would rather go to V7, but if we find V7 is dragging and that we have more data and that's ready, like one thing we could do is just train V6 on more data. We're going to try to have a lot more data in V7. We don't know how much data actually helps, to be honest. Like, it's not obvious. how much data actually helps at this point, or what data actually helps. If I had to guess, like photos are the main thing that helps, and video will probably help. It's not obvious to me that like drawings would help. 'Cause, like drawings are mostly like you could think of drawings as like a stylized version of reality, and you don't need that many drawings to sort of understand the style uh, component to it. Maybe only one even. But then if you want to learn about dogs, you need a lot of dogs. Like you need every dog. You need every dog. You need every species of dog. You need every dog place that dogs go, and then like you just need a fuck ton of dogs. Unfortunately, we mostly focus on cats. So kidding, but yeah, you don't get every drawing style from one drawing, but you do get a drawing style from one drawing. You don't necessarily need five drawing styles of the same style. Like I mean, some styles are narrow and some styles are wide too. So like different types of things are different. Like anime styles tend to try to be more similar to each other. Um, and then ours like Art Deco, has some similarities, but it might be different in like a Art Deco version of clothing versus a building had some historical thing. I don't know. It's not really Art Deco clothing. You know, no, not all artists are the same. But I guess what I'm saying is most of the information about the world are in images of the world. So mostly in theory, just having more images, more photos would help. But we'll see. Um, yeah, we definitely want more obscure topics. I think I'm more interested in like general photos and really obscure historical things, but different like locations more. Yeah. Anyway, um, cool. Let's go to questions for a bit. So let's take some lightning round questions. Type your questions in VC text channel. We can't talk. I don't want to talk in detail about us and any other specific company, but I would say that right now we're talking to a lot of the different labs, a lot of the AI labs on different types of cooperations. And one thing we might do with a lot of them is try to like a lot of people have these sort of chatbot interfaces, and like making our stuff available in a bunch of chatbot interfaces and letting people play with that could be good if we do it right. It could be bad too, so maybe we'll just shut it down. We're not really sure, but we might like let people try. Um, there's also like a lot of shared research things that a lot of the labs are doing. Um, like for example, we need to understand images, and also the language models need to understand images. So working together on image understanding is an area where we could literally like share things. So there's like a lot of areas like as maybe if like we working on world models, other people work on world models, and like there's a lot of areas where you can work together where you're not really competing. So we're talking to a bunch of people about a bunch of types of cooperation right now. Um, not really sure. Yeah, I think it'll be good. Um, we're gonna change the slash feedback again soon in the next week or so. We're learning a lot. It's helping us a lot. But our goal is to move to a version where people can have like a leaderboard, and so we're trying to kind of work on the leaderboard version next, as well as a way of like better assigning points to items, so that way we can better understand which we should actually assign resources to. Um, Cref and Sref, I believe, I'm pretty sure are combinable.
They are, yes.
Yeah. Niji will have Sref, but it will probably come out after. Sure, I'll tell stories if we have extra time. Do I have an inner monologue? I'm not really. I can, but I'm more of like a visual spatial thinker than a language thinker. It was sort of hard for me to form words for a large part of my life, and some like I could talk, but it wasn't really comfortable to use words. I didn't like language, and then at some point, I kind of decided that it was okay, and I became better at speaking very quickly. If you hate something, you can't really be good at it. So if you hate language, it's going to be hard to use it well. V6 full release, hopefully soon, but trying to get these other features out first. Um, to our knowledge, V6 doesn't have any coherence issues over V5. Like V6 should be strictly better than V5. Um, the ephemeral image stuff is, I believe it happens only in channels, not in DMs, right? Is that right, Ancient?
Correct.
Yeah, so if you
Ephemeral.
don't like ephemeral images, use the DMs. One of the reasons why we have ephemeral images in channels is so that way if you're making bikini photos, all the other women don't have to watch your bikini photos. And unfortunately, I don't think we have a great way of telling if like server only has like one person in it. Maybe we could, but then it kind of leads to like these weird things. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing about. Um, at some point, we'll probably let people do in painting, editing of non-Midjourney images, but after we kind of get through all these other moderation challenges. Top 3 wishes from the community. Um, as we do the new feedbacks and as we do the new rating things, definitely need help on that. I'm always like I was always cool when people like make up mock-ups for how we should like improve our web stuff. Like ideas are always good. Like not just like David, here's an idea. Make dogs better. Stop being so cat biased. That's not as helpful. But if you're like, hey David, like maybe the way that you're doing buttons could be combined in this other more specific way. I don't know. Like more actionable, ideas are always really, really nice. Um yeah, we have we have some video models training that are V6 style. I don't know if we'll release a V6 style video model or if we'll wait till V7. We'll see. Um, I don't think OpenAI has ever said there's no way anyone can compete with them because people do compete with them. um, I mean, we're not a very competitive group of people. They're pretty competitive. I think it's one of the weaknesses of like, I think like competitiveness can be a weakness sometimes because it's hard to be creative when you're being competitive. You know, the best ideas are things you do for yourself because you want them or you think they're right. And when you're competitive, you're kind of thinking about about another person more than you're thinking about like what you yourself wants or what you believe is right. So yeah. Um, both the character and the style things are not going to be super precise because of the way that the current system works. It's not really related to data. P7 should be more precise in that regard. Um, Niji is not meant to replicate American illustration styles. It's meant to be anime. I don't know what we're going to do with Control Net. We trained one. I don't think we liked it. The team's been more focused on video and V7, so I'm not sure how much we're going to get to put into Control Net. We don't know exactly when the general public web version will be, but we're going to try to get it out to more and more people over the next few weeks. Newer chips will make Midjourney faster. over time. I'm not really sure whether V6 is going to improve with image blends right now. Like, I do feel like image blends don't work as well as V6 as it should, but the person who would fix that has been out a lot. I'm feeling sick, so we haven't had anyone get to look at that yet. Some people think that V6 is like bad with paintings. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these things are subjective. There are certain forms of paintings that by certain measures are worse, and then some of them will get better, and things are going to get better and worse. And, I think it's easier for me just to say V7 will be better at everything than for me to try to tune V6 to be better for one person than for another. But we can try to do the personalization stuff, and maybe that'll help. So I try to do things that help everything rather than just one thing, because there's no way for me to have a list of all possible things that could be made by that could be represented in images and then just like go through a list of them, you know? Um, what else? I think we'll do color references next if we're gonna do a reference thing at all, but I'm like slightly want to do more stuff with the style references. There will be official Midjourney mobile apps. There are a lot of trash apps. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do about all that. We try to report them, but the app stores are really fucking terrible at taking down scam things. It's very frustrating. I mean, they do take them down, but like, man, it doesn't seem like it's a priority to be proactive about it. I don't know. It takes a long time. I'm not convinced that sharing images is as important as creating images. I think it's normal to create things that no one else will ever see. I think most things are never seen. Like, if you go out into the wilderness and you see a flower, it's possible that nobody else has ever seen that flower and no one else ever will, except for you. Most things are never seen. I think that's natural. As we like approach something that feels more like nature, kind of the nature of nature. I don't really know how long it takes to train a video model. Some of them don't take long, some of them do take long. Depends on like what we want it to be. And so we're kind of early still on that. Like, we have some video models that look really good, but they do shorter clips. We haven't decided yet what frame rate and what lengths we want to do. Kind of comes down to cost. So like, I'm not convinced that like if it takes 10 minutes to render a 1 minute video, is it a real feature? I'm not sure. So I think we kind of want to make something that like feels coherent. So yeah, it kind of depends a little bit on things. Where are we? Working on some drawing things, but I don't know. We'll see when when it starts looking good. I don't. In painting, still has a lot of issues. My impression is that like our in painting is basically as good as everybody else's in painting. And that all of them kind of suck, but we could make it better at some point. Um, the Midjourney team is around 45 people. OpenAI doesn't seem super competitive. I mean, people are pretty like. There's a lot of like emotions in the space right now. So if you asked Google, they would say that like OpenAI is just implementing whatever Google did 6 months to 12 months ago, but then like doing a bigger PR thing about it. And then OpenAI would be like, Google makes stuff but doesn't jump in. And then everybody kind of has their pet peeves about each other. I don't really want to get involved with that. But we need to try to make cool stuff. We're not publishing any research right now. We probably will at some point, but not necessarily about like things that help people compete with us. Yeah, I do like image prompts a lot. Definitely trying to do more collective intelligence things, collective consciousness things. We're hiring more people there. Um, Hope your wife does okay. I'm happy that the images make people happy. It's definitely one of the, I think just trying to make the world more beautiful is definitely a big thing for us. Um, yeah, it's hard to say if like what if the social activity is going up and down over time. I think like when a new version comes out, it goes really up, but then as it's been out for a while, people like start talking less. It's a little hard to say. We do hope that there's sort of more social features in the future. So we're definitely working on those. We're not currently working on more vary region features right now. Um, yeah, we're gonna try to make V7 look more beautiful like V3. V3 is sort of more sort of vibey in a lot of ways. Um, we mostly look at Discord for feedback or the slash feedback thing. We do look at subreddit a little bit, but I mean, it's hard to kind of take 1,000 people's opinions right now and do anything with it without like these sort of newer tools we're working on. So that's going to be a big thing. Um, yeah, we've thought about like some people having trying to take some people with quote unquote the best possible taste to help improve the model. Um, yeah, don't really. I'd rather try to let way to have everybody participate. Um, there are companies in New York that Midjourney would work with. I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't really know what companies are in New York off the top of my head. I am in San Francisco, so it's a little hard. Um, the orb. I think there's some orb ideas the team is talking about, but then the team is also working on our new 3D capture stuff, which is going to help for the 3D version of Midjourney, and that's what everyone's focusing on. It's hard for me to compare our like our incomplete video stuff to OpenAI's unreleased video stuff. But I mean, when you just look at the still images, like our images look really good, and our videos look the same as our images. And then V7 will look much better than V6. So, I think a V6 video model would look very similar to V6 but moving, and a V7 video model will look much better. So, we're in a pretty good place in terms of like how our images look. Definitely want them to be better, but at the end, it is the best right now. Um, I'm really excited about trying to figure out better ways to personalize things for people and then help them sort of explore the latent space. Um, yeah, we do want to do some more big surveys soon. I think the new describe hopefully in the next week, but we'll see. The hardware team is working on the 3D capture stuff right now. And then in between the 3D captures, we're like prototyping sort of new types of computing. Yep. Cool, man. That's starting to get through. All right. I'm gonna take a bathroom break. I hate to take a bathroom break, everyone, but sometimes, like I'm a physical human. So I'm gonna take a bathroom break, and then I guess we'll take a voice question or two until Grimes gets on. And yeah, so Ancient, your job is to figure out. We'll try to figure out who to bring up for voice, and then I'll be right back in 3 minutes. All right, quick break, everyone.
All right. So, anyone that wants to come up for voice, make your case now. Convince me to bring you up. My job is not to sing. And by convincing me, I mean, like, tell me what you want to ask. Make it something interesting. Oh, no, no, no. The physics and existential questions are more likely to be brought up. they are the more interesting questions. Bring up 3 green name users. Karen is green. I don't think that Karen could even accept an invite if brought up. Also, if you want to be brought up for voice, raise your hand so I know that you are actually interested in coming up. Is there an unofficial number of images that have been made? A lot. Yes, I can say at least 10 images have been made. Exabyte storage yet? I do not know our storage capacity. Okay, if your license plate is Midjourney. I mean, we can't stop you.
All right. Sorry about that. One day I'm going to be a pure energy creature and I will graze upon the plasma fields of the sun like a space cow. Anyway,
Oh,
the we'll take a nice voice question or two, and then Grime should be on at around 1 o'clock, maybe a little earlier or later. Ancient, I don't know if you remember their username or.
she has the ability to come up just by pressing the button. We have the role for that.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. Anything else? No, I think we got through some questions, so I just thanks everybody for coming, and thanks for being a part of the community. I hope everybody enjoys the character reference stuff that we're going to release, the new describe, the upgraded style thing. We're going to try to see what else we can get. And I think everyone will have fun. Can't see anything else. No, I think that's it. Thanks everyone for coming. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're going to keep doing more. We're going to keep turning it up, and hopefully it's just the start. So have a nice week, everybody, and have a nice day.